Hey guys, it's Mark Rodriguez here.
And Paige.
Yes, and you're watching the Review Sanctum where everything and anything may be reviewed. And we're talking kind of light because it's nighttime, there's other people in the building, we don't want to wake them up and all that stuff. So yes, we are finally reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. Pretty awesome movie. I got to see it in the drive-in thanks to some friends of mine. I got a picture there. I have no idea what I'm doing in that picture, but yeah. And I think you got to see it in the drive-in too.
Kitty. Yeah.
Yes. And I also got to see it with one of my friends earlier today, so I got to see it twice. So, yeah, general thoughts. Well, the movie does follow a lot of Peter Parker's high school life. It kind of happens directly after the events of Civil War and everything, and how he adjusts to being Spider-Man. Like, he wants to, I guess after the Civil War thing, he's hyped up. He wants to fight alongside the Avengers. He keeps waiting for, like, that big call, but it's never happening, so...
I don't know if Kitty wants to jump on... Nope, never mind. He wants to run away.
Yeah, but eventually Spider-Man runs into these bad guys. They're using high-tech weapons because they're actually made from all the, I guess, high-tech machinery left behind when the Avengers fought the alien invaders in the first movie.
Chitauri.
And the Chitauri, thank you. I didn't want to mispronounce it.
I probably mispronounced it.
No, that is Chitauri. And also, like, stuff left behind whenever they fought against Ultron and all that kind of stuff. So they're using this technology to make super awesome, you know, laser-type weapons and everything. And, you know, Spider-Man has to try to stop them and everything. And there's a part in the movie where Iron Man removes his fancy suit, and Spider-Man has to somehow still save the day with regular outfit, not, just
his
regular...
original Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah, and like I said, he also has to deal with all the stuff that happens with being in high school and everything. So yeah, that's basically the... yes, and that's basically the synopsis there. So now, general thoughts. Shh. Yes. What were your general thoughts? Shh. Okay, what were your thoughts?
It was okay, I guess. To me, it wasn't a movie worth going out to see yet again. It was okay. He's definitely the best Spider-Man because they show the, I shouldn't say childlike, teen-like Spider-Man that's like loves to talk, banter with his enemies, and he's a teenager, and this is the best portrayal of him. He's like this awkward teen that's geeky, and not like the really older version of Tobey Maguire and the somewhat sexy Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, good actor, definitely good. Good choice. Why is everybody British? Why is every Spider-Man said Tobey Maguire's British? That's Tobey Maguire's British, I highly doubt it. The concept of getting the alien technology from the first Avengers, it's different. It shows like what they did with that. So it's like, I don't know, it's weird. So that takes, I don't even know, it takes place, whatever.
Well, the movie like starts out a little bit like, you know,
when they're cleaning up.
Yeah, the Avengers stuff. But then like modern day, now it takes place after all the Ultron and Civil War stuff. So it kind of jumps, you know, a couple of years.
Okay, so I don't know. I thought that was kind of I didn't care about the weapon. No, don't leave me. I love you. Love you. You're purring. Okay, believe me. I don't love you. It was good, but I didn't care about the concept of the alien weapons.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like so much to say because it's such a, I don't know, I just really like the movie. I like how Peter Parker, they captured more of him being a teenager and his high school life. I think the first movie kind of, like Tobey Maguire movie just kind of showed it in the beginning, and then that's it, that's all we saw. It's slower. Andrew Garfield was too, like, he was a different kind of, he wasn't really geeky. He was like some kind of, I guess, outcast skater boy or something, and that's not Peter Parker. So here they really captured that. Lots of little things to mention. His friend Ned, I guess, is based on like this best friend that Miles Morales has. They just gave him a different name, and it's just kind of weird. I guess, I don't know. It's just weird how he had to find out Spider-Man's real identity and everything. But and getting help and everything. And I guess it kind of, I don't know, it's different chemistry. It's a real portrayal, because I guess if your friend was a superhero, you really would have been kind of bugging, like, oh my god, do you know Captain America? Oh my god, did you fight that guy? Did you do that? Was that you on the news yesterday? Like, I think it does kind of capture that. Yeah. And on other things, we have, well, my favorite part of the movie also was the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, and he did a very, very good job. It was just, I mean, I don't know, he did a very good job.
He did a good job.
And he
Especially
also...
the car scene.
Yes, the infamous car scene.
Pedro.
Yes. And that's the thing that, that also does it, because most of the times if you're a comic book fan, you kind of know things already, you know the characters and all that stuff. Like, well, in this movie, whenever they mentioned Matt Gargan, I already knew that was the Scorpion, so you kind of know these things. So in other movies with Harry and Norman Osborn, you already know that Osborn's going to be a bad guy, blah, 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 blah. In this movie...
He was a bad guy?
Yes. In this movie, Peter's main love interest is Liz Allen. Well, they just call her Liz. They purposely never call her Liz Allen, because the movie did the big surprising reveal when he was going to go pick her up for the prom or whatever, that the Vulture was her dad. The Vulture was her dad. And that was not in the comics, so it just hit me, like, when he shows up and knock, you open the door and Michael Keaton's there, I'm like, I mean, that got me. That was a very good surprise. That's something I never saw coming. And yeah, the whole scene in the car and everything, I'm doing my business and all that stuff, and if you come after me again, I'm going to kill you and everyone you care about, because that's what I want to do to protect my family. And it's, you know... And another thing, it also captures that most of Spider-Man's enemies in the comics aren't really out to rule the world, destroy the world, not even rule the city. Most of them are crooks and thugs that just think about robbing banks and like the big score. And it's the same thing here. Vulture, his big score was trying to loot the Avengers jet with all the stuff in there. And that's the kind of thing, that's how Spider-Man bad guys work. So it also makes it kind of different, because while all the other movies had things like Ultron and Loki with the Chitauri army, all that stuff was to rule the world or destroy the world, but this is just, you know, robberies, or robbing ATMs, or robbing places full of technology.
In my yard.
Yes.
And milkshake.
Yes, and that's the thing. And other things, what can I say? The movie does have a lot of modern stuff here and there. Flash Thompson's in the movie, and now he's more of a douchey person, not so much a jock. A friend of mine also commented it was kind of weird seeing him as part of the that science team thing they were doing in DC.
Because I thought was weird too. I always thought he was just too cool for that.
Yeah, normally he wouldn't be involved in anything, but here, instead of being someone to physically beat up Peter Parker, now he's just someone that will always insult him and be douchey. And hey, can we expel him yet? Can I tell him he's expelled? All that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny. And Liz was an interesting character, you know.
And then the random girl, I guess her name, the real actor's name is, I think, Zendaya?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is quote unquote whatever, aka MJ.
Yeah. That's the thing. I kind of, like, I don't know, I like her character because she was so random. She was always there. Like, there's even places, it says she's in detention. It's like, you're not even in detention. Oh, I'm just here because I like drawing people in desperation. She's just randomly there, always. And that was kind of a funny little running gag. But I just hope they don't, like, really make her Mary Jane Watson, though. Like, don't, well, or not Mary Jane Watson now. I guess she'll be Michelle, whatever J's going to stand for. I just hope it's, like, a joke, MJ joke, and not, like, don't make her MJ, I mean. But, yeah. But other things Spider-Man had was that his suit was, of course, made by Tony Stark, the more, you know, the serious Spider-Man suit. Now it has AI, and it talks to him, so it's kind of funny banter. I like the part where it's like, do you want me to activate insta-kill mode, or so, no, I don't want to kill no one, no, stop, and something. And later on in the movie again, like, oh, so I activate insta-kill, would you stop with insta-kill, no, like, that, I don't know, that kind of banter was funny. And the funny thing is that the lady, I don't know her name, but whoever's voicing the AI also happens to be married to the actor who's Vision, who also was voicing Jarvis, so that was kind of, you know, it's kind of funny thing there. And, you know, there's also funny things here and there in the movie. I do like, I don't know, I just like how everything is made. I like the New York City stuff. I like how they show the meat market and the churros. Like, they show all the, you get a more feel for New York life and everything to kind of understand Spider-Man's out for the little guy and stuff like that. He's doing things like helping old ladies find directions and all that. So, yeah, it's a pretty good thing. I do understand, though, the movie is very different and very changed. But the downside about it is that, well, what can we do? I mean, it's already been, like, 2 reboots. It's the 3rd reboot of Spider-Man. And if you guys want to be perfectly honest, the very first movie with Tobey Maguire was basically, like, spot on like the comics. The only thing they could have kept is maybe Green Goblin should have looked better. Spider-Man should have had his web shooters, not the organic ones. That was weird. And they should have just replaced Mary Jane with Gwen Stacy, so that whole scene of dropping Mary Jane off the bridge would make more sense. That's the only thing that would have been to make the first movie perfect, you know. And then the Andrew Garfield movie, I felt, was kind of forced to do all these different things and this super overcomplicated way of how he just happened to get the spider bite and all that. And, you know, of course, Stacy's in it. But just because the Maguire movie did the first story so good that if they did it the right way, it would just be repeating the first movie. So that's what this movie also does. It tries to do everything very different. They just casually mention the spider bite. They don't waste time with the whole Uncle Ben backstory and the spider bite and his little wrestling thing. They don't like show any of that. They just kind of mention it. It's kind of interesting though how they kind of gloss over it. I guess by now they kind of expect you to already know the story. But yeah, it's interesting. But other than that, do you have any other thoughts on it? On any of the other characters or storylines or anything like that, or Captain America? Yes. That's another thing. Be sure to stay for the credits, and if you guys haven't already seen the movie yet, just stay for the very, very end of the credits, and you'll get a surprise. Which is, I don't want to spoil it too much. But other than that, what can I say? I loved the movie. It was very good, entertaining. I don't know, like the first time I saw it, I guess some of the kids stuff, the high school stuff was kind of like whatever. But seeing the second time, I appreciate it more, and I like the banter between.
The second time you catch more stuff.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I want to go to the second time, but
Yeah, and another thing was the final battle between the Vulture and Spider-Man with the invisible jet and all that stuff. Like, it was so dark, I could barely see anything at the drive-in, so I was glad I had a chance to see it the second time, and I could see a lot clearly what was going on. And I really love the Vulture's design. The wings look epic. I like how he has the coat thing to kind of represent the little coat thing that the Vulture has in the comics and everything. And I also noticed that Shocker had, like, the jacket with the yellow kind of arm things that kind of sort of matches the costume. It's like a reference to it, you know, so that was kind of clever there. And another thing, the last thing I do want to mention, though, I do like the scene where the Vulture drops.
Talking too much.
I know, almost done. When the Vulture drops all this metal beams and stuff all over Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was all alone. He didn't have his fancy suit anymore. He didn't, you know, there's no Iron Man to help him out and all that stuff. And he just had to, he panicked. He panicked like a normal person. He was panicking, calling for help and all that stuff until I guess he found his own inner strength to just lift all that stuff, like he's showing off his strength and his resolve. That was a very good scene. That was very good acted. And it does kind of remind you that Spider-Man is a kid, you know.
I keep, like, moving myself off camera without paying attention. Okay.
But yeah, that's all I can say. Cause there's just yes, there's just so many moments to talk about, so many hints. There's so many Easter eggs with characters that you know may or may not appear in future movies, yeah, and stuff like that. So it is a very good movie. Just watch it if you're any kind of Spider-Man fan. Just watch it with an open mind. Keep in mind that things will be different because we've seen this story before 2 times already. So of course you have to do something different, and of course Iron Man's in it and all that. So yeah, just watch the movie. It'll be good. I'm sure you'll like it if you're a Spider-Man fan, and I guess are willing to accept changes and a bit, you know, more comedy, and of course the Marvel, yes, and the Marvel film way of doing things, the MCU way of doing things. Check it out; it'll be cool. So, anyways, guys, that's it for the review Sanctum. Before we get evicted for being too loud, this is Mike Rodriguez here.
Me get evicted, not you. You don't have to worry about it, Paige.
Yes. See you next time.